Hello everybody, I'm Matthew Zoltan. I'm the author of the Undo app and various books. I created the Quiet Retreat system that I've been running now for the past 40 odd years. I've been working with people with their psychological and physical problems for about the same period of time actually, 45 years now. I've found the way that the individual can heal themselves and therefore recover the condition they are in before the discomfort, the pain, the anxiety, or the physical ailment was actually there. If you look at this on a basic physical level, you'll discover for yourselves, and you can see from your own experience, that one day you're well, the next day you're ill, and then after a period of time, the illness goes through a certain process and eventually dissipates completely from the body. And then once again, you're well again. And this is a completely natural and ordinary process that any living organism will go through. When we react to this very ordinary, very natural process, we cause ourselves anxiety, we cause ourselves unnecessary distress. And this anxiety that we feel is a build-up over time from this type of reaction to very normal and ordinary experiences, sensations that go on in the living organism of every single creature on the planet on a daily basis to guide us, in fact, through our lives. So these sensations that happen in the body are of great variety, but none of them are wrong, none of them are bad. None of them are there to harm us, but all of those sensations are there to inform us of the condition we are in any given moment. And the only way we can know that is to actually feel the living experience of that condition. What we think about that, and particularly when we think in reaction to that, we create this anxiety. And the anxiety is something that you will, if you're used to feeling, you'll feel this mostly through the central part of your body, from your stomach, through your lungs, up into your throat, into your jaw. And so it's very much a physical experience. And this is the first mistake that we make about anxiety. Our society has created, in the last 100 or so years, particularly in the last 70 odd years, has created a lot of labels and a lot of ideas around natural physical sensations that every single human being has always actually gone through. Always. And the reason I say that with confidence is because these sensations are absolutely fundamental to the living experience of the human animal, of the human organism, of the human being. In our social constructs, in our social ideas, we have added other complexities to our day-to-day experiences and to our day-to-day life, which have therefore been added on top of these underlying sensations that are inherently normal in any human being and any organism. This addition has brought with it what we call anxiety. Anxiety is like any other mentally labeled physical sensation. Anxiety produces an exaggeration on that basic physical sensation and the varieties of these basic physical sensations that we feel. But still, predominantly, anxiety is a basic physical sensation, and we build on that through the way we think about it, through our reactions to it, through our worries about it, through our concerns, and becoming anxious about anxiety. We try and get rid of it. Trying to get rid of it, trying to resolve it, is a reaction to it. Now, I'll bring you back to what I started with. When we have a sensation in the body, say we have a sensation of heat or cold, or a sensation of sadness or tranquility, do we try and get rid of these sensations? We do not. Of course not. Why would we try and get rid of the sensation? This would be like trying to get rid of the very life of ourselves, because we know we exist, we know we are alive, only because we can sense our own existence. We rely on sensations in the body to know we are there, to know a part of our body is there, and to know what condition it's in. All these sensations are packed with information that we have at hand, at our fingertips, if you like, but we have it as the sensation itself, not as the thinking that we create about those sensations. If we don't think about it, it dissipates quite quickly. Just like I talked about illness. One day we're well, the next day we're starting to feel unwell. For a period of time we are unwell, and then that unwellness heals itself automatically. This is a bodily function. So the body goes through these processes as a normal day-by-day experience or week-by-week experience. These normal experiences are constant corrections that are going on inside of us. If we think about them, overthink them, and then analyze them, then what will happen is we will prolong a fabricated experience of those sensations. In fact, the way we think about those sensations causes an anxiety in ourselves that prolongs that beyond otherwise a natural duration, which would be far more readily resolved by the body itself. And the thing to understand is only the body itself has the capacity, has the normal natural function that enables it to resolve anxiety. After all, anxiety is not a mental condition. Anxiety is a physical condition. We know it's a physical condition because we feel it physically. If we don't feel anxiety, if we don't feel anxious somewhere in our body, predominantly in our chest, throat, etc., then we won't call ourselves anxious. So anxiety is entirely a physical state, a physical sensation. Now, understanding it's a physical sensation, we must treat that physical sensation as a physical sensation, as we would any other physical sensation. And how do we treat other physical sensations? We leave them alone. They are there, they pass in their own time. They are there for a purpose, they pass in their own time. So the body's going through some sort of correction, or it's indicating from our sensitivity to our life around us that something's not right, or it's indicating from our sensitivity to our life inside of us that there is something more deeply disturbing in our own system that we need to pay attention to. And so a sensation will come from that. And that may be quite a deep anxiety as opposed to the anxiety about some day-to-day event. Still, anxiety is simply a sensation, and the word anxiety, the label anxiety, is not really necessary. We know we have anxiety because we feel it as a sensation in our body. Now, if we just leave it at that and just feel it there, and let it pass in its own time, it will, because this is what the body is capable of doing. What we think about, asking questions why we are this way and so on, this is showing that we don't know what to do with it. So thinking doesn't have the capacity to deal with the problems that it detects. Yeah, it cannot fix anything at this level. That is what the body can do, not what thinking can do. Now, why can't thinking resolve a sensory or a disturbing sensation or a disturbing feeling? Why can't thinking do this? Because thinking is not feeling. Thinking does not feel. Thinking is a disassociation, in fact, and a reaction to what we're actually feeling as a disturbance or a sensation or an anxiety in our body. So once we're disassociated from that sensation of anxiety, we're in thoughts about it. And those thoughts about it actually keep it going beyond its natural duration. Coming back to the feeling, away from the thinking, away from the labels, and back into the feeling that's in the body that we are calling anxiety, and just feeling that. Not considering it wrong, not considering it faulty, not considering it abnormal in any way, because it is not abnormal. No sensation in the body is abnormal. This is a con, this is a lie, and this is a mistake. Yeah, These are not abnormal sensations. Every single sensation that you have in your own system is normal. Something is causing it, either from inside or from the outside, and you are having a response to that. And that response is bringing your attention to a disturbance. Bringing your attention to a disturbance, you're supposed to feel that disturbance as it is in the body. You may then look to your outer world or look to your inner world to understand more about that disturbance. But essentially, it's feeling that disturbance and letting it be there for as long as it is there as a sensation in your body that will enable it to pass in its own time, just like a physical illness does. Now, this is very important. It's very important to understand that the body can take care of these things, and these things that originate as sensations in our body are not as bad as our thinking considers them to be. Anxiety is a feeling, specifically a heightened level of nervousness in the central part of your body up into your throat. That's where you'll feel it. That's all it is. It's a sensation. And why is it there? It's either there because of some outside situation that you're finding is disturbing you, or some inside state that you may not be aware of prior to that anxiety. And even when that anxiety is there, that inside state may not be resolving itself. Which means you need to go deeper. So how do we do this? This is the natural meditation of the body. The natural meditation of the body is to rely on the body to heal itself, particularly of these disturbing sensations that we then mentalize and move away from the physical disturbance into a mental disturbance that only enhances the physical disturbance and makes us more frightened of that physical disturbance. Don't be frightened of the physical disturbance. It makes sense to be frightened of the mental disturbance, because the mental disturbance is your own imagination, your own creation. Yeah? It's the creation you may have been taught. You have been taught a certain label about yourself, and then you identify with that label and you lock yourself into that condition forever and a day. That condition will pass like any other condition, so long as you experience it exactly where it is and how it is in the body of you, and let your body take care of it, and it will. That is the natural meditation of the body. It deals with pain, it deals with illness, it deals with distress on any level in this way, in the same way, by feeling the sensations of these experiences as you go through any of these processes in day-to-day life. And the most important thing is, whatever your condition, it is not abnormal. It is absolutely normal. Absolutely normal. It is supposed to be like that. It's like that because of whatever you've been through, or whatever you're living through outside of you right now, or whatever your physical health is right now. Your mental health is only an exaggeration on your actual physical condition. The felt sense of you in your own body, how it feels to be you today, is the driving force behind all your thoughts about yourself today. Come back to that driving force. Feel that, and it will dissipate. And as that dissipates, so the thoughts that it generally drives will get lesser and lesser and lesser. And when that feeling, disturbing anxiety inside of you completely dissipate, then the next time they come up, that will be there again. It's not because you still have a problem. because it was never a problem in the first place. It's a completely natural response to either your environment or to something internally. It's not wrong. It's just when we overthink these things, when we mentalize these things and emotionalize these sensations that are meant to just be felt as they are, whilst they are there, until they come to their own natural end. And they will. This is what we're supposed to do. Not think of them as abnormal, because they're not. Not fight them or fear them. This is only thinking that does that. Fighting our physical sensations is in fighting our life itself, and we will not win. The fact of our condition is known in our physical sensations, and the resolution of that condition will come about automatically in exactly the same place in the physical sensations of our body. And there is absolutely no need to think about it. This is how the natural meditation of the body, which the body does for itself, within itself, which is just to feel the sensations that are occurring without calling them anxiety or anything else. This is how the body heals itself, processes anything throughout your life experience. Thanks for listening. I hope that was helpful. See you next time. Thanks for joining me today. If this talk resonated with you or helped you in any way at all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the talk with your friends so that they can get the benefit as well. Okay, bye for now.